Hello, how is everybody today? As you can see, I have some of my new DIYs up, so make sure you watch those videos to learn how you can do those yourself. But I'm pretty sure you guys are here for the wood side of these videos. Today, I am going to share with you some things that I wish I would have known when starting out with wood signs. It's not necessarily going to be tips or tricks. This is just more so on the business side of what I wish I would have known starting off. I got my little list right here. Hank is joining us. Oh, look at all those wrinkles. He's really paying attention. He wants to start his own business too, like a dog business or something. But with that said, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, that you like, make sure to hit the little bell and put all so that you know when I am posting videos. And as usual, I do post wood sign videos on Wednesday. That could possibly change in the future, who knows? And with that said, let's go ahead and hop into this video. As I mentioned in the beginning, we are going to be going over what I wish I would have known when starting out a wood sign business, or even maybe just making wood signs. I got my little notes here, so I made sure to write them down so I can kind of get them all out there because I knew there was going to be something I'd forget. So the first, and I feel like most important thing is what works for other people may not work for you. Okay, I had watched so many YouTube videos. I had looked on Pinterest and really dove in because I really did not know anything about wood signs. I knew I could get creative. I had my Cameo. I knew I wanted to do more with it, but I did not know the first thing about building a frame for a sign, staining the signs, anything. So I watched all this stuff. I collected all this information, and then I realized okay, what they're doing is not working. And I could try it many other ways, but it's not working for me. A good example would be that Mod Podge. People say when you lay your stencil, put Mod Podge on it to help with bleeds and then go over it with your paint. That has never worked for me, ever. I swear it chips my paint, it pills up my paint. I've never been able to get that. So that's just an example of things that you may watch and you're like, oh, okay, I should be doing that then. But it might not work for you. So with that said, it goes directly into my don't go crazy buying a bunch of stuff when you first start out. So I have so many things down in my basement. That's where I do my crafting, majority of my wood signs. I have so many things down here that I purchased when I first started it out, and I purchased a lot of it thinking I'm going to use this. I watched the video, so this person uses all this, so I'm going to use all of it, and it's still sitting down here. An example is spray paint. I had seen so many videos of people using spray paint, to spray their stencils, which I sometimes do. But I seriously bought so many different colors. I bought a bunch of grays. I bought so much, you guys, and I'm still sitting. I'm looking over there. I'm still sitting on a lot of that stuff because I don't use it. That is not something that I found worked for me. I like using chalk paint, and I do like making smaller signs where I don't need all of that spray paint. I do not need it, and I feel like I wasted a lot of my money purchasing those things because it's not something that I'm using all the time, and it's definitely not something I needed right away when starting my wood sign business. Another thing is things going on clearance. I found all of these wood signs at Michael's one summer when I first started out, and they were $3. So I literally bought all of them because at that time I didn't know how to make my own wood signs, piece them together. I didn't have a miter saw yet, things like that. And there's literally 10 sitting in my shelf right now that I've never used. So don't go crazy spending. Get, one of something, see if it's going to work for you. And then after you use it a couple times, if you feel it's working for you, then go out and buy more. But don't go ham right when starting off, because you don't know what your clients are going to like. You don't know what you're going to like, and you don't know what you're going to stick to when you start this. Another example, I have tons of tumblers and cups and all that stuff. I don't have a sublimation machine. I have a Cameo. And so I was thinking, I'm going to make all these things. But you know what? I can make them and you can use permanent vinyl on them, but they don't last forever, which in turn doesn't make me want to sell them that much or make them, because if I am having somebody spend money on my product, I want it to last for years to come. So I kind of went away from that, but now I'm sitting on a bunch of that stuff that I spent my hard-earned money on. So things like that, keep them in mind. Take your time. It's a process. This is probably going to be a long video. Let me see what else. You don't have to buy everything brand new. Facebook Marketplace is your friend. Okay. I use it for everything. It is where I find a lot of my project pieces. Seriously, everything. You can find everything on there. You can find wood scraps. I usually go on first thing in the morning to see like if people are posting things for free. You just have to be willing to make sure that you are willing to pick them up like right away, or else most people are like, no, I'm not holding this for you. Things like my heat gun that you see me use in every video. I spent $10 on my heat gun. It came with a hot glue gun and a bunch of hot glue sticks for $10. The heat gun brand new, I think, is like $20 or something, and you can find less expensive, but it's used, it has paint on it. I don't care. You know, things like that, paint samples. There's just so much. The tumblers that I just mentioned, I found those on Facebook Marketplace and they were $3 each, which is a steal, and that's probably why I bought them. But things like that, you don't have to buy everything brand new when starting out, or just ever. I don't think I ever buy anything brand new except my wood these days, and my chalk paint. Okay. But keep that in mind. Make Facebook Marketplace your best friend, because I promise it will not disappoint you. Let's see. Price around and keep notes. I have definitely, there are basically 3 hardware stores we go to: Menards, Lowe's, and Home Depot. I feel like there is, like my wood rounds that you guys see me do, there is a significant price difference in those at Home Depot versus Lowe's, like huge to me. So I never buy wood rounds at Lowe's. I always go to Home Depot, but Home Depot doesn't have anything below 17.5-inch rounds. Menards does, so you go there for Menards. Paint wise, the Rust-Oleum chalk paint I use, it is way cheaper at Menards than it is at Home Depot or Lowe's. So make sure you're price comparing. You want to save every dollar that you can, and you want it to go as far as you can. So make sure you're pricing around. Keep a little notebook of these things, and you know, who has the better deal, who has the better wood, or whatever it may be. But keep track. It'll help you in the long run. It'll help you from going to store to store to store, trying to figure out where you need to be, how much you want to spend, all that stuff. And also download their apps. Menards has an app, Home Depot has an app, Lowe's has an app. And look before, and it'll save you time, because it'll tell you where the bay number is, what aisle it's on. I mean, it is seamless now, you guys. It makes it so easy to go shopping for things. Let's see, what else? Trial and error. Don't give up. I learned completely myself. I didn't get into YouTube until I got into makeup, which sounds funny because I'm 34. But I did not get into YouTube when I was making signs. I was looking on Pinterest and just reading things when I started my wood sign business. But so I essentially kind of like taught myself how to do things, and it's going to be a lot of trial and error. You're going to mess a lot of things up, but guess what? Things that get messed up, they can be remade, they can be redone, paint can be sanded down. Like, don't get discouraged. You're going to make a lot of mistakes in the process, and you're going to learn from them. And that is what is going to help you learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I still make mistakes to this day, but I truly believe that like anything that might have gotten messed up or not have come out, you can always turn that project or that wood piece into something else. You can. I mess up all the time. And then I like have to reflect and I'm like, okay, what else can you make this to salvage this piece? And sometimes it turns out even better than you originally thought. So don't give up, keep going. Let's see. Be honest when starting out your business. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, can you make this sign? Or like we have a Pinterest addict swap page here where people will go on and say like, can somebody make this sign? And if you think you can do it, message that person, or if somebody's messaging you, and be honest with them and let them know, you know what, I've never made this before, but I definitely accept the challenge. I know I can make this. You just want people, you want to be honest with people, because if it doesn't come out exactly like the picture, which nothing ever will, at least they know about it. Still to this day, I just made my first toilet box organizer the other day, and you just want people to know, like, this is my first time making it, so bear with me. It might take me a little longer than something else because it's my first time creating it. So always be honest with your customers. And with that said, if you make a mistake, sorry, I never wear my hair down, so I keep on touching it. If you make a mistake, I learned this when I first started out my business. Like there was bleeds or something on a wood sign I did, and it wasn't very noticeable, but to me, I want it to be perfect. Obviously, somebody's paying for this. I want them to get perfection. And I messaged the client and I was like, hey, like, and I sent the picture, there was some bleeding, you know, I could give you 50% off the sign. I'm so sorry. Or I can make you another one. It's just going to take me more time. And the lady responded, she goes, I really appreciate that, but as somebody that owns her own business, you don't have to offer the discount. That's losing money for you because you're investing time in this. And most of the time, people will be still happy with it. Or I feel like, what am I trying to say, you guys? She just explained it to me, and it really resonated to me that, like, just because you make a mistake, you don't have to give your product away for free, which is what I thought. I've always worked in retail my entire life as a store manager. And so I'm always like, the customer's right and the customer deserves all this, which they do. But you don't want to sell yourself short either. So now sometimes if I make a mistake, I'll send a picture of the mistake to my customer, my client, and say like, hey, like there was a little bit of bleeding here. Like, you know, how do you feel about this? I can completely remake the sign, or you can let me know what would make you happy in the process, you know, so that you're not freely, because most times you would be so surprised. I've have the sweetest clientele that most of the time they're like, you can hardly see that. Nobody will ever notice. Like, I'm totally okay with it. You do not have to give me any discount. You do not have to remake that sign. Or for example, there's been times where I don't know what I'm thinking, or what I write all of my stuff down when I get orders. And sometimes I'll, like, if I painted the letters the wrong color or something than what the customer wanted, and then I'm like, you have to be kidding me. I can't believe I just messed that up. But you know what? I'll send the picture to my customer and be like, hey, I don't know what I was thinking, but I accidentally painted these letters blue instead of orange. But I wanted you to see it before I go to fix it in case you like this better. And majority of the time, clients are like, oh my gosh, that looks even better. Like, just leave it. I love it. And sometimes they're like, no, I really want what I asked for. And that's totally fine. But give them the option before you change everything about it. Like, just put it out there, put the feeler out there, because you can always change it, but they might like it better. So don't sell yourself short in those aspects and make yourself do more work when they possibly will be more than happy, or whatever the case is. Yeah, I hope that all made sense. So, yeah, I learned that the hard way. I was like given discounts here, there, everywhere and stuff, but I learned, and that's all that matters, is the learning process. a big thing, it's okay to say no. If there is a project that is too big for you, if there's a project that you really know you do not have the time for, or that maybe you're just not capable of yet, be honest before accepting that order and accepting that money, because you don't want to disappoint your clients. You do not want to make somebody upset or angry, and then in turn they would leave you a negative review or tell something negative to their friends, which tells 3 more friends. I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard that before. So if you don't feel like you could fulfill an order, just be honest and say, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but like, I am just starting off. I do not think I can do that right now. Here is somebody else that can possibly help you out with your sign or your order, whatever it may be. Because yeah, sorry, all this talking. I hope this is helping you guys and I'm not just rambling on. All right, let's go. Only 2 more things, I promise. Designate yourself a place to do your business or your workspace or your signs or whatever it may be. Trust me, this will save your relationship. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's important to have your own space to do these things, because with wood signs, you're cutting wood, you're staining, you're painting, you're doing all that. You do not want all of that in a bunch of different spots. I do my vinyl, so I'm at one table. This is where I do my crafting, my DIY, my YouTube. My other table is where I do all my vinyl work. My computer's over there. That's where like I weed. And then I have a space on the other side of my basement, and that is where I'll stain, I'll paint, and then I do all of my, obviously my cutting and stuff out in the garage. So it's important to be organized when doing this. I promise it'll make your pieces go so much smoother. They will come out nicer. It helps too, like if you're painting and stuff, you don't want debris and all that stuff getting in there, so you want a clean workspace. So make sure you have your own space and you know where you want to put that and where you want to set that up before going into all of this and purchasing things. All right, my last thing, register. If you want to be legit, register your business with your state. I live in Kansas. My business is registered with the state of Kansas, so I do have to charge taxes on my items, and then every quarter I pay those taxes to the state, and it's whatever tax. Ours is, I think, 9.10% here in Kansas, in my city. And so I let everybody know when I'm giving price quotes, like it's $20 plus tax. And then if anybody asks, I just say I am registered with the state of Kansas. I have a legit business license, or tax license, or whatever it is. So I do have to charge tax on my items. And this way you can claim whatever you're spending on your business. You can file taxes with your business, if that makes sense. So it's super easy. Most of the states, you could just go online and then they send you a letter. You don't pay for it. I'm almost positive I did not pay anything for this. This isn't like an LLC or anything. You're just registering it with the state. And then you can keep track of all of your purchases if you do register with the state on your PayPal business. That is what I use. It has gone so far since when I first started. It calculates everything for you. It's so awesome. So that's what I use to keep track of what I owe at the end of each quarter. So my next quarter will be the end of July. So I hope all of that information didn't overwhelm you. I hope it helped you. If there are things that maybe I did not hit on, please make sure to comment down below and I will be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Soon, if you guys want to see a video, I could just do like tips and tricks on actual, like the wood signs, kind of like what vinyls to use for what, going into depth about staining wood or different wood, or whatever it may be, what size wood pieces you may need to start off, things like that. Comment down below and I could definitely do those videos later. So thank you for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button, and I will be seeing you all of you wood sign makers again next Wednesday. And feel free to look at my DIY videos too, because I make wood signs, but I love DIYing too, so you might as well. So have a good day. Bye.